John, I think you know you look cool.
Huh?
And you do.
Oh
my God,
thanks,
you
man.
look so cool.
You know,
You look so cool.
I was growing my hair out just for this specific occasion.
Dude, my
so,
God.
You know.
Guys, look at us. We got 2 Witcher reactions this week because we're trying to catch up before Season 2 premieres alongside Spider-Man No Way Home. It's going to be a busy week. Anyway, guys, Episode 7 of Season 1. Excited to see how this goes down. Geralt, Yennefer, trying to have a... toss the fruit of your loins to your Witcher.
Oh, yeah. Every episode, we need a new update on the theme.
I'm running out of words. All right, guys, hit that like button. Smash that freaking subscribe. Nope, it's reversed. You guys know I'm gay. Yeah. Full length watch along as we sync up with the time code for Witchity Witcher over at Patreon. Cover a bunch of shows over there as well. Lastly, thanks to the boys at Prepper for helping us edit down these highlights, especially if there is inappropriate content that they gotta blur. You guys are good at that. And let's get to it.
You need to be careful, child. This place isn't safe if you're alone.
And it's the same as every other place.
Not exactly. We're talking real generalizations.
Ooh.
What a barren wasteland.
What a Grand Canyon.
What job did you take on now, Witcher?
Slaying the greatest monster of all. Man.
You've come for your child of surprise, haven't you?
The opposite. I want you to tell me that he's safe and healthy so I can keep on writing.
He is a girl. Yes.
Operation?
Why do you think she's not safe?
I saw an army making camp at the Amel Pass. A sea of black and gold.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Sent assassins.
What?
Were you followed?
No.
Wow, so he did protect her.
Yeah.
Geralt!
This mouse can't live?
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, where in the timeline are we? Oh, that's good. That's the real mouse.
Sweet. Let's go, people.
I've been away 12 years and I planned on staying that way. Till you sent 8 men to kill me.
Ah.
Do not do this.
If you treated me more like a friend than a threat. Do you know the difference anymore?
My feelings are hurt.
Give her to me. Call it destiny, security, what larger force is at work. I don't care. I will take her, protect her, and bring her back unharmed, I promise you.
Oh, so we've caught up to like near the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Ciri survives, then Pavetta lives on too.
That lineage, man. All important.
No, don't cast me out on a whim! Who needs you when I've got him?
Those people noticed her.
Where do you get a piece like this?
That was my mother's.
You can buy 1,000 pairs of gloves with a piece like this.
We've got a sight more than you do. Roof, food, space on the floor to sleep. A lot's happening on this continent, but we're safer when we stick together.
So that woman's gonna die this episode.
Absolutely. Or turn into something horrible.
Yeah. Oh, your own choice. Okay.
Just go get jacked.
Pleased to meet you, Princess.
Nah.
I'll summon you when she's ready.
That's not the same girl, right? Is this a decoy?
Yeah. that's
Okay.
just
I was like,
destiny.
have I been totally misreading this? Okay.
Anton, I have to go.
What?
No.
Your Highness.
Ah ha.
Oh, wow. What a detail, damn.
Yeah.
Got nipple chills from that.
She needs family. You know nothing about that. Your own mother cared so little she discarded you.
You lecture me on a mother's love, yet offer up someone else's daughter.
I need your promise you won't come back.
If I hear Ciri's in danger, you know I can't do that.
Oh.
Dude, is Geralt still there?
She's just been here this whole time.
Like,
Oh God, maybe. I don't know.
this is so clever. It actually really works when you know the outcome.
Yeah.
It makes it that much more intense. No shit.
Oh, look who's back.
Sometimes boring is better.
No, it's not.
Do it in front of everyone.
Yeah. Everyone, stop what you're doing.
And it was fun. We wanted the object of desire. After where I came from, I lapped it up.
I know how you feel.
Where's Tisea?
Tisea can wait.
Fine, I'll just follow the sound of crying girls.
She has no idea you're here.
Oh. God, remember that episode?
Yeah, feels like forever ago.
Couldn't stop crying. For the record, I get that the aging properties for these characters are not the same as regular
They
humans.
don't
All right,
age like
for all you guys
normal
are commenting that.
Magic and whatnot.
Look, I'm levitating.
Marcella, whatever you lack in talent, you make up for in confidence.
She doesn't need confidence. Her father owns half of Craden.
So he could swap 100 horses for her spot here.
These women are tripping balls,
Yeah.
man.
You know, if they catch us, they really will expel us.
There are far worse things than expulsion.
Like what?
Aretuza went corporate, man.
It's gonna be a tuition scandal soon.
I've got so many questions.
You want to know more?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she means by questions.
The ability to create life? Real life? They take that from you. I don't care what you do, but remember this. Even if you do everything right, follow their rules, that's still no guarantee you'll get what you want.
Enough!
Back to your rooms, girls.
Oh, shit.
An emergency conclave of the Northern Mages. Nilfgaard took Marnadar.
What?
They're attacking Sintra.
All those years of swinging his sword around were years he wasn't serving as a mage.
Or killing babies born at an eclipse.
We believe in shared sacrifice.
You also believe in forbidden magic, demonology, necromancy, fire magic.
Forbidden magic is one of the ghost stories taught to us here. There is no such thing as dark or light magic.
Magic is magic.
We know that if we take Sintra, we have a chance of saving it. If you won't take sides, then at least stay out of our way.
Ooh, buddy.
He is still there.
Just been meditating all this time.
We have called them a lost cause for years, but we stopped trying too. And it is time now that we risk not only our lives, but our pride. And try again.
This show's so good. God damn. It's
So wrapped right now.
This is so damn good.
If Nilfgaard wins, that's why Vilgefortz and I and some others are going to fight. You should join us. Why would I protect this? If you will not do it for the Brotherhood, then do it for me.
Whoa. You're not vulnerable here.
Power. Desperation.
Have you ever used that word before?
A great response. Dude. God, he was there the whole time. You'd think Calanthe would know he was down there, right?
Yeah. I think she'd want him maybe unleashed at some point.
If I can bring him here, to Ciri, destiny may yet side with us.
Wild.
It's time.
Wait, where are you going?
So they did try to bring him to her. Okay, because I remember her being like, "Go find Geralt."
So much for destiny. Yeah.
He's gone. Looks like he's escaped.
That's what they were whispering.
Find Geralt of Rivia. He is your destiny.
He's probably outside somewhere. Man, this show must be fucking awesome on a rewatch, huh?
Yeah, dude. You really know the geography of time and events.
Crap. Dang. Oh, they're looking for each other.
Yeah.
Damn, what a cool ass fucking show. Oh, damn.
God. So close.
They're right there.
I know. Ships in the night.
Tell me what I want to know and you'll live.
You just missed her, man.
I know.
You just missed her. She's so much further away.
I know.
God. I was like, maybe Geralt is chilling in a cabin somewhere.
Yeah. Nope. He's just out there in the weeds looking around for clues.
I think those are the people who noticed her.
You made it out. You're all right.
I told you it was her at the market.
Oof.
The only thing special about you was the fucking crown on your head.
Oh.
Verily, I say unto you, the era of the sword and the axe is nigh.
The era of the wolf's blizzard.
The wolf?
Chill and the white light is nigh. The time of madness and the time of contempt.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ah,
damn it.
Christ.
That is gonna be a season finale, boy.
Dude, that shit was dope.
That was legitimate. That was so cool.
How long was that finale? An hour? Okay, awesome. Good
Much
to know.
more.
That's what I'm talking about. Give me that hour.
Give me that hour. Give me that hour and 10.
Oh, man, what a show. What a show.
Dude.
I'm really loving this. I keep talking about it with people. This and Spider-Man are my main topics of conversations these days.
It's good.
Yeah, like we're so late to catch a Witcher, and when I discuss it, I tell people like, yeah, the first episode's a little bit rough because there's a lot to wrap your head around. And you know, some of the, like, but it really starts to form like more of a personality and a life as it progresses quickly. Like by episode 2, I remember really liking the hell out of that a lot, and then like quickly growing to love the show. But then you watch this that ties it all back to episode 1, and you're like, damn, episode 1's got a shit ton better.
Yeah.
It got like so much better all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like that, because it was like so much to process that first time, and feeling, and then having, I remember that feeling of I felt like we just watched like some season finale of something because there's so much context we don't have.
Yeah.
And then for the patience to pay off as the buildup happens, and then you get to the prelude to the events from Geralt's perspective, leading into the fall of Sintra. Wow, it makes it more intense knowing that it's going to collapse, and then it makes it more exciting watching the puzzle pieces come together and watching different because I do remember that moment of Cirilla playing the game with those guys, and then looking over and stuff. Like I remembered all that. So to watch the perspectives, like wow, this is such a well thought out show.
Yeah, dude.
It's like usually you only see that usually in movies. But that's like a 2 to 3 hour piece. To do that with a series where you're like, okay, by episode 7, then we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's a lot to think ahead on. My God.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that rewards the binge watching experience. But even just watching week to week, like it feels rewarding then to go back and see that difference in perspective, and you meet the show and Ciri especially from their perspective, as they're being attacked, and even though like Calanthe is all powerful and very confident, you're in more of the victim position at the start, and now to see the events that led to this, and like everybody at Aretuza, there you go, everybody at Aretuza like arguing as to whether or not to intervene, and like just all the different points of no return, and then seeing as she locks up Geralt and placing him geographically in time in that event, like it felt like really natural story development, but also like a really cool, like clever way to tie it all back around.
They really make the timeline thing work to greater effect. A common complaint that I actually have with a lot of TV shows, especially when like a season ends and then a new one starts, is I often I have a difficult time getting on board with a lot of character development that happen off screen because they do major time jumps.
Yeah.
And I usually am like, but you're a show, I want to feel that, I want to see it. And somehow this show manages to be the one that makes it work almost episode to episode.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's not even like a season break and I'm like, oh man, shit, I would want to see that. I guess it's because it's part of the structure. It's like ingrained into it, the time jumps. And so it doesn't make me feel like I missed out on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like this would be better with more context.
Yeah, or seeing more of the process and development. Like we just start off here and it just hops ahead 12 years for Geralt's story. Yeah. And then it takes just a little bit of time to go, oh shit, okay, we're caught up to episode 1. And whatever happened there, yet it doesn't bother me. You know, like it really does work effectively. I am curious though, because I think the use of flashbacks was used incredibly well, and I especially preferred it when it was like, like I think anime often does it a lot, where they use flashbacks, and then when you get more context, the flashbacks, when you re-experience them, they work in a different context suddenly. Like you could revisit the same scene, but it just feels entirely different now that you have more of an expanded knowledge upon it all. Yeah. And then some of the flashbacks, like some of the whispering dialogue moments, you actually don't just see them whisper, you get to hear what they're communicating to one another. The only parts that were sometimes a little off to me were the times in Aretuza with Yennefer, because I go, we watch this week to week, but on a binge, I'm like, how much of that was truly necessary for some of that with Aretuza? I didn't really feel like we were getting full expansion, but that's like the most minor nitpick. Literally, it's not a problem because I still did enjoy it. I enjoyed all of that. Like it's interesting of how this is working on almost a meta level of revisiting the past for these characters, because it's moving forward for Geralt's story to go to the past for our experience of the first episode and the beginning of Cirilla's story. Cirilla? Yeah. From Cirilla's story. And then you're going with Yennefer, who's going to her actual past. Yes. Uncovering stuff, and then also seeing the development of what's happened with the characters there. It makes it more compelling the way they navigate all this. And I thought complementary wise too, is as much as there were still fantasy elements in the first episode, that was arguably the least fantastical one of the episodes we've seen so far. That was the one that still felt the most grounded in some form of reality. With, you know, some stuff with mages and, you know, him fighting a beast at the beginning of the episode, but it's still for the most part pretty grounded in reality. They didn't get that fantastical.
Yeah, it was more about the like almost political implications of everything in this one.
Yeah, and then chilling in Sintra and seeing what's going on there in the battles and stuff. And then this episode brings it back to that. Like we were talking about, the way it's really, you know, intimate, close up, handheld. It felt less fantastical, like right off the bat. So it was neat. And then even when you're cutting to Yennefer and catching up with, he looks like Lenny Kravitz. He does look like Lenny Kravitz.
Yes. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to unsee that.
Like now you're like with the hair and the beard, like straight out of the like Lenny Kravitz from Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Catch Fire.
He's gonna dress her up in the next episode.
But then even going to that, and then, you know, all this development that you see, I think it's just the acting is so damn good too that you could feel a lot of the history of whatever we didn't see is definitely there. Like she's talking with Lenny Kravitz, whatever his name is.
One character, I'm like, God, what was his name?
She's talking with him about like, yeah, you know, I did all these guys, I had all this power, and then but it you know, it ultimately left me feeling pretty empty. It sucks. And yeah, you know, like I got enough of that from actual episodes, and I believe you on your experiences, and I could feel it. I think that's the thing that why the time jumps work so well, is because whatever you don't see, you can feel those experiences regardless of not having to actually have been there for it.
This must be a fascinating show to act on, because you probably have to be doing lots of homework for things that have happened in intervening time that we don't get to see between episodes. Like this week, it's 30 years later, so you have 30 more years of life experiences or whatever. But yeah, I would generally kind of agree and jump onto everything you just said. And yeah, I mean, there is a certain aspect of the stuff that takes place in Aretuza that is, it's like out of everything in the episode, that is the most directly focused, I feel like, on one character, because going back there is such a big deal for Yennefer, and it brings back so many traumatic experiences. Yeah, and you've got her kind of getting this catharsis of being able to speak her mind to the cogs in the new machine, basically, as she's like getting them all high and stuff. And yeah, it's like out of everything in the episode, that feels the most zoomed in, because most everything else is sort of like looking at the big chessboard and looking at, you know, the surrounding details of the big event that kicked off the season, and that at least gave us, you know, our main sense of this world and where everybody is within it. So yeah, like there is a certain aspect there where it does kind of feel differently attuned than the rest of the episode, but even still, I thought there were so many great backs and forths, and like her and Tisaya, if I'm getting her name right, like,
you're right about that,
their back and forth is always really great, because especially the woman that plays Tisaya, like there's so much in her performance that is constantly her. Like it to me always appears like she's not gonna say a handful of things that she really wants to say, and she's gonna keep poise, because she's always thinking of the bigger picture. And it's like, yeah, that whole bit about her being like her Yennefer being her best student, and it's like she doesn't even ever say that to her. It's just a secondhand piece of information that other mage uses to get her there. But yeah, like
if I can jump in really fast, I think the relationship's so compelling because at the end of the day, Yennefer is who she is in large part due to her. So it's like this strained mentor-mentee relationship that they have.
And neither of them really can just talk to the other.
No.
They're always playing the game while they're talking, and it's so hard, especially for Yennefer to be any kind of vulnerable in this place. And I mean, I think they do a nice job of drawing that picture, because part of you can kind of see it from, you know, the perspective of, you know, like the up and coming mages and things, and the excitement of that, but you can also see the intense hurt and bitterness that comes out of the experience.
Sure.
And they're good at doing that, where it's not like for us as viewers, like, yeah, completely screw this place. But also, there's some pretty nasty stuff that happens here.
Yeah.
Like when she's showing them all the eels and everything, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty nasty, even still.
And then what the corrupt, like, and you also seeing what's happened with Aretuza in terms of like rich kids and
yeah. If anybody's got money,
you're watching how like this is the kind of shit that Yennefer was. Not that she predicted it out loud or even thought that would be the thing that would happen, but
she could see the capacity
of the corruption and how this is not what it's made out to be.
Yeah.
It's like the League of Shadows. It's damn, what was I gonna say? I liked what was popping in my head and I forgot it. It's gone. It's gone forever. It's permanently gone. It's never coming back.
Was it about Geralt or was it about Yennefer?
I don't know. It'll come. Oh, Calanthe.
Yeah.
She is such a. Really hit me. Like,
man.
we haven't talked about just how fucking great she is. She is great.
No matter how brief the appearance in whatever episode, like she really does have that queen presence where like the second she's back on screen, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like I love every time we've gotten a check-in with her. Was it the third episode we have of her?
Yeah.
And there's always so much life. Like she really feels like plucked out of this period. And there's just constant, you can feel there's just so much different thought processes happening with her at once. She's a strong character, very strong.
Yeah.
And
terrific actress.
And I thought this one had the best clock to it. Because usually how they have been is they build to sort of a nice crescendo of cutting around different the timelines or events or something like that. They're usually like a build up to like something like, oh, this is like the finales of each episode's been so intense.
Well, there's
this just starts like we got a clock.
And everybody is
doesn't like go.
Yeah, and everybody's bound to the situation that's created.
And it's just that everyone's debating left and right,
Yeah, there's not a component of like we're gonna travel for a while and then things are really gonna kick off. It's just like, the whole time you're dealing with this big old situation that's affecting, the entire continent.
And I think what's also one of the rewarding aspects of the series too, like Nilfgaard is such a threat, and I don't really know much about them. And I think one of the rewarding elements of it is that when you, because it's a puzzle piece of storylines converging, and when I think a big part of what makes it even more enjoyable is when you're like, I'm getting it. You're like, I get it, and then that adds to it for you go, I'm understanding what's happening.
It makes you feel good and rewarded for keeping track of all these fantastical ideas, places, and people.
And then the Cirilla character, I actually find her more compelling when she's just on her own.
Yeah, this was one of her best episodes, hands down.
I really cared about her, and there was this little nugget of a moment. It's because it's such a wide shot where she's walking by, and then it's so brief. Where I thought like maybe it's just background characters who are overacting, and trying to get themselves in. But you do see those same people at the end who approach her, who do like quickly look at her, and you see one guy point. And it's just happening it's like an Easter egg of a shot, and then I thought I was reading too much into it because sometimes background players try to do too much.
They just want their moment in the sun.
But it just goes to show just how intentional that is, and how if you just really look, it's like there's so much happening, but in this one little moment, if you just look, you'll see them. You'll see them looking at her, and then for it to come back around, and then the unleash of power as well. And it really, that plays on your frustration so much of like, damn, he was there the whole time. And literally what happened was, it's that thing of like, you were there, I was there, I missed you. That's all it was.
Except the reverse.
Yeah, because she does say, obviously such a big, catalyst of a finale moment for Calanthe to say, go find Geralt, and then go on this adventure to go search for him.
And that whole sequence too of him breaking out and trying to find her, and then her being whisked out of the city, like it really did catch me up in that feeling of, like in real life where you're like, if you lose something or you're looking for something, you're like, I know it's close, and in these precious moments while shit is hitting the fan, man, like, this is the best chance I have at finding the thing, because the further in time we get, the further in distance we'll probably get too. And
I thought they were gonna show Geralt is just there still.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, he's just been underground there the whole time.
Been chilling.
It's the Hangover.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and I mean too, like going back to Ciri, like it made me think of, like, on the one hand, it's unfortunate that she decided to go off on her own and get jumped, but at the same time, I was like, well, good for that woman, because, like, I doubt she would have been able to protect her from this, ambush here from these people. And so, like, those kinds of consequences and those kinds of choices, I feel like they're good at making the weight ring. So it's like, this would have been ugly either way. And I guess it's just less ugly because she decided to go off alone.
Well, it's really cool what they did with Sintra, because you put it in the first episode, and they're such a focal point, and you're locked into the perspective of the hierarchy of the king, queen, princess, and they look like the beloved kingdom. And then as the show has gone on, the people there don't like being there. Yeah. The mages don't like. No one likes them.
No one likes Sintra.
Yeah, that's just what that's as the show's been going. The veneers is slowly peeled away to the point where they're even debating. I'm like, fuck Sintra. Why should we help them? They suck.
And then that kind of confronts, like, the fact that it's like I don't know what the exact way to phrase it is, but it's like you think of Sintra and you have so many kind of focal characters, and Ciri's one of your protagonists, so you're like, you have a sympathetic eye towards Sintra, and then to see it from this perspective, I think that makes just the sort of political quality of the show ring truer now, because it's like, we love Ciri and we're rooting for Ciri, except she comes from this place that everybody hates and that probably wasn't a very good place in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Which is a fascinating little thing, because then she is eventually going to have to confront that, and she's probably going to have to confront the reality of who Calanthe really was and the good and the bad of that. And
well, then Geralt, Yennefer can raise her together.
That's right. They can become the family we've always wanted.
And I think also, I mean, we touched on this in the last episode, but I thought this episode shed even more light on it, of Yennefer wanting to be a mom, and she, like, the last one really touched on that they stripped her of a choice, but also this one really showed how that strip of not being able to have a child creates a dependency that I'm watching my cat, and I'm so worried he's gonna step on the power strip and just turn everything off, because that has happened before. All right.
Oh, no. Every time he goes into the desk, I'm like, oh Jesus!
Don't touch it,
don't
man.
Do it,
don't
man.
step on it, man.
Don't look at the red light.
When she's talking about how they make this is a form of control, that they make you dependent on them. Like, this is your only family at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never saw it in that light. So does that happen to all of them? All of them can't have kids? I thought that was a sacrifice she made to get her looks.
No, I mean, I feel like that's part of the whole ritual, is like, if you make it to this point and you don't get turned into an eel, then we're gonna put you through this ritual because something about that seemed to me like it part of it is that it makes you look ideal, but also I'm sure there's something else about it that, like, solidifies your magic abilities.
And they also didn't prepare her for the surgery properly. That was a big part of it. Like, she had to endure it under all pain.
So it seems like, just if you're going to ascend and pass, basically, if you're going to complete this training and become a mage, you are going to give up that part of yourself. It's just, to me it just read like everybody does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hell, that was an amazing episode. I love the hell out of it. This has been freaking. I'm already excited for season 2.
So excited
to finish the season.
This is just
Actually, I like, because we've never done something like this where we're like, let's start it, and then by the time we're done with season 1, season 2, it's been a hell of a ride, and then we'll be here on time for season 2. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, click that bell, hit that like button, and we'll see you for the finale of season 1.